Good morning. I'm at the West Snowmass Creek trailhead, and I'm going out into the mountains for 3 nights, 4 days. I'm checking out a new pack that I just showed, Osprey pack, and it's a light pack, and it only doesn't hold very much, about 35 liters, but it should be enough for this trip. We'll see how it goes. And I'll be showing the pack and what I'm carrying a little bit more into this video. But for now, I just want to start walking. Well, I've just walked just under a mile and about 900 vertical feet. And we're at the wilderness boundary on East Snowmass Creek. And in a little bit, I will hit the intersection with the ditch trail where it comes into East Snowmass Creek. And that should be just in a few minutes, or a little bit more. Well, a few minutes later, I got to the ditch trail, and that's the ditch trail going down there to the bridge crossing, and we're going this way on East Snowmass Creek Trail. Wow, it's turned into a beautiful day. The breezes, the wind has moved the smoke out. I don't smell it. It's not burning my eyes right now, which getting a little reprieve is great. I'm afraid though, with as big as the wildfires are around Meeker in western Colorado, the smoke will be coming back. But I will enjoy this for now. If you've ever skied Snowmass, just at the top of that ridge that I'm looking at right there, and that gully that comes down is called Cairns. And just at the top up there is Sneakies. I think it's Sneakies. That comes down from the top of the Big Burn. And to my right, which you can't see, is Garrett's Peak. Up above me there, which I've guided and skied Garrett's many times, but it's been a while. And it's not on my list as something I want to do currently, partly because it's always hard to judge when to ski it properly because of avalanche danger. And I have skied it only in the spring when we get into a melt-freeze cycle. I've never skied it midwinter, even though I've seen tracks on it in midwinter. And I've seen massive avalanches on Garrett's. There's a beautiful little patch of thimbleberries here, and they are quite tasty. Actually, it's a huge patch, and they're ripe, so I think I'm going to eat some. Well, looking up the East Snowmass Valley, to the right up there is Willoughby, and then again to the left above that ridge is Snowmass, the ski area. And we're going to continue up that way. What a beautiful, beautiful day it's turned out to be. Just incredible. Well, I've got camp set up, and I'm going to set up my kitchen over there. It looks like a site that they've tried to restore, but I'm going to be here one night and I will restore it even more when I leave. My Durston one-person tent fits in there quite nicely. Anyway, it's a good spot. And it's in the forest, and I will sleep well here. Good morning. Well, this is August 12th, Tuesday, and this is the first full day of my little backpacking trip. It's a short trip. Yesterday I hiked, I think, around 5 miles and about 3,000 feet elevation gain. And today I'm going over a couple of passes, actually 3, because I'm going over whatever this pass is called, going from East Snowmass Creek into Willow Lake area. Then I go out of Willow Lake over Willow Pass, and then I go over Buckskin Pass and drop down to Snowmass Lake. It shouldn't be a bad day though, and the weather looks fantastic. And I can show you where I'm going. And we started here. I parked at the Maroon Snowmass Trailhead, walked back on the road to East Snowmass Creek Trail, and then came up here. And I'm guessing I'm camping somewhere in this area right here. And then today I go up and over to Willow Lake, over Willow Pass, down, and then over Buckskin, down to Snowmass Lake. And then I'll camp somewhere in here today, below Snowmass Lake. Should be pretty crowded at Snowmass Lake, so I'm just going to go there for photographs and video, because I think it's one of the most beautiful lakes and areas in Colorado. Had a great campsite. It was better than I thought it was going to be. Someone has carved this out, which probably isn't the best thing. And it was pretty isolated finding it, but it turned out well. And I'm going to be moving here in a little bit. Well, I should be crossing the first pass. I'll call it East Snowmass Creek Pass. I have no idea what the name is. In a few minutes, well, actually more than a few minutes. And I'm getting about as high as I've ever been up this valley. I've run up this far before in years past, trail running. But I've never been over the pass, so I'm excited today to go over a new pass, and finally, after 40 years, to drop into Willow Lake area where I've never been before. Should be a good day. Well, I've come across something that's super interesting, and yeah, it's fascinating. I've come up onto a pile of logs, a big pile, and matter of fact, the Forest Service or trail crews came up here and had to cut through here. I'm going to turn this around and you can see it. See, all this debris here is avalanche debris. question, where did it come from? And you can see the avalanche chute above me, and it almost looks like someone took a chainsaw, went through there and clear cut it. You can see the trees on the left side as I'm looking up, right there, those trees are flagged. That means all the branches have been ripped off by the avalanche that came through here. And it took a lot of timber out. I would guess, and it's just a guess, this might have been the 2019 avalanche year cycle that happened in around March 8th, 10th. It's probably one of the largest avalanche cycles in Colorado since records have been kept. And there's a lot of terrain around here that would be great for skiing under the right conditions, so you don't get caught in an avalanche. But that's an interesting pile that we just passed there on the East Snowmass Creek Trail.